Decks here. Today we are talking about laying down decking. We have two of our main decks laid and cut in, and now we're doing an intersecting pattern through the middle of both those decks. We're adding some more decking to this outside portion of a landing, and basically just trying to tidy up, get some things down. Got a few things to figure out today. If you like what you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time we're putting out fresh content. And for those of you that want to learn how to do this, don't forget to check out Dr. Deck's Masterclass. All right, let's get going. All right. Sometimes fitting the first board against the house is always the most difficult. This particular home has a lot of obstructions. It's been added onto. The walls aren't straight. There's an 1.5 inches of bow on the inside wall of this house. So it wreaked havoc. If you've caught one of our earlier videos, you'll see the explanation of the issues we were having. So now I'm just trying to get this first border colored board straight and in line with the other borders, so that I can start laying the rest of the deck in. And it's just time consuming. So I'm just taking my time and making sure it fits properly, because if you don't have your first board straight, guess what? None of the other boards are gonna be straight either. So just trying to get that rolled out. And then once I have that figured out, we'll be able to start pinning this in place. But again, because it's the first board, I can't run my saw all the way up to the wall. So I have to figure out where this board needs to be notched, and it has to be cut on both sides. So I have to figure out both sides. So this is a premium cut, probably one of the most complicated cuts of the day, and so it's just a very time consuming. I have it placed where I want, so now I'm going to lay up my circle borders and mark one side and then mark the other side and then cut it out and hope, fingers crossed, that it's exactly what I need. I'm pretty sure it is, but there's always that always got that level of uncertainty when you're doing this. But I think we're pretty dialed. I just have to finish up.
Well, if you saw Friday's video, I was plugging as well, and I'm still doing the same thing. It's a big deck, a lot of plugs to do. I want to say I've done like 800 plugs now.
That's it?
That's it.
Huh.
I don't know, I'm a master of plugging now. Anyway, you come to this deck, I dare you to find the holes. You won't see them.
Quick tip. String lines work great for long distances, but if you have a short distance and you want to keep it straight, a really high quality level like this Stabila will always keep your board nice and straight. They take the abuse, you can shove them, push on them, keeps a nice straight I-beam, works pretty good. Alright, so now I've kind of gotten into the funky part of this deck where I have to make some short pieces, because we have a surface border going this way and a surface border going this way, and then we have field decking that goes up to meet those borders. And you can kind of see this line that's drawn here. This is actually a faux screw line. It kind of tells us approximately where our screws are going to go, but then behind that there's a cut line. And the cut line usually is where we're going to cut the deck boards. So I'm just trying to figure out right now the lengths I need of these small pieces. And then there's this one little tiny pie right here that's going to be kind of funky. I think I'm going to have to glue that together. And I'm going to wait to install that one, I think, until after everything else is cut in and installed. And then I might have to piece that one in, possibly glue it in. I'm not sure yet. So for now, I'm going to get these two pieces made. And that way I can figure out my cuts and get my boards up here, draw them out, trace them out, get that going, and cut the matching ends in for the center section. And then I also have another cut line, and again, that's why I need these pieces, so I can cut this piece in as well for this border that's going in here. So lots of complicated stuff going on right now.
So I am putting in the very last piece of paper up on the top deck. It's kind of a funky little, small little piece, but anyway, once I put this up, then we can start measuring out, cutting our decking, and then start getting decking laid on the top.
Yeah.
Just touching the paper, make it burn or something.
All right, got it. All right, so we got to a point on the lower deck where I'm gonna be cutting and fitting and sanding and doing some stuff to get the deck prepped and ready for the borders. So now we're on the upper deck. Nazi is going to start doing our identifiers, laying out where our surface borders are and where our screw pattern is, where our cut line is. And so we had to haul some boards up here. So we have some spots on the deck that he needs to trace out and transfer some lines so we know exactly what lengths we need of decking, and so we know where they go. So that's what's next. That's what we're up to.
How's it going? Enjoying yourself up here in the oven. What I'm doing is taking these boards that we bent the other week and then lining them up with the edge of our deck, and then taking my pencil, marking them, and then also taking this 2-inch spacer that I made, so that way the 2-inch spacer, we know where's the last area we can put our screws to be safe, so that we don't hit anything. So once I'm done marking these out, then we can actually take a measuring tape and figure out where our inlay goes, the inlay decking. So that way, and then also the after we lay the decking, our marks will act as a place where we can put our little cardboard little pieces, so that Jason can take his skill saw, run over those, and then we know exactly where this guy needs to go, so that we're not guessing.
Hey! Sorry, I had to get my gloves. So I've had millions of you ask, millions, what kind of saw, how do you cut these curves? How do you cut these curves with a straight cutting saw? And here's my answer. I use a 5.5-inch trim saw. It's made by a company called Makita. I'll give you the model number so you don't have to leave me a message. It's 5005BA. 5005BA. And I use a Tenryu high tooth blade. So this is like a 40 tooth blade, and it cuts like, it's comparative to like a 90 to 100 tooth 12-inch blade. It cuts like butter. So with such a small radius or such a small diameter blade, and it's very thin, but it doesn't, when it gets hot, it doesn't wobble too much. I get really fine cuts. I'm able to cut on curve into PVC and be able to make these curvy cuts. So between that, and then I go to a belt sander after that to kind of sand it perfect the way I want it. That's how I get these fine cuts and how I make these boards fit the space. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to kind of see a little bit of what the art is of what we're doing today. If you like what you saw, or if you like sawdust, click that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time we're putting out fresh content, hit the bell icon as well. Heck, hit the subscribe button just because I just throw out a bunch of sawdust. Okay? And if you want to learn how to bend deck boards and do these crazy designs and these awesome inlays like I do, don't forget to go check out Dr. Deck's Masterclass. Thank you very much. Have a great day.